There we go. I just got to get that thing over on the other screen here. There's no reason for that to be there. Anyway, hello guys, and welcome to a little bonus live stream today. Now, I just quickly want to fill you guys in on what we're doing today here. So, I think it was like a couple of days ago, Drew Wager, which is one of the original writers for Elite, he made a live stream where he basically summed up all the knowledge we have about Raxxla and the Dark Wheel, and it was a pretty good live stream. And there's nothing new. He did confirm that the writers don't really know anything, but there was one thing in there that I found rather interesting, and he mentioned that he has a theory that the core, or well, the system that were in the original game would have something to do with the Dark Wheel or Raxxla or something of that sort, and that to his knowledge nobody has ever done a cross-reference of which systems from the original game are also present in Elite today. So I thought, well, cross-referencing two lists, that should be just down my alley. So let's science the hell out of this and see if we can't just cross-reference that, get a list of systems that exist in Elite today that were also in the original game. There was some comments about that there was a reference in the codex actually in game at that the Dark Wheel lived on a station orbiting a gas giant, or the 8th moon of a gas giant. So we could also, if we wanted to, assuming that the Dark Wheel is somewhere in the system that were in the original game, that hasn't been confirmed, but maybe they are. But then it at least could give us a place to start by having a look at which of those systems then has planets with a gas giant with 8 or more moons. We'll see how far we'll get. But I guess step one will have to be get a list of these systems in the original Elite. But who's going to go and scan every cross-reference planet? Oh, I'm planning to do a to write a computer program to do this for me. Trust me. I am hello Lord Wall. I'm not doing this manually. So, oh, this is interesting. Elite, I guess, 80, sorry, wow, let's try that again. 1984. System list. Planet list. All the list is taken from the Elite data. The data still applies to the BBC micro version of the classic Elite. Okay, so this data is not taken from the literal Elite, but the data is still the same, it seems. The format of the entry is... Okay, so it has number followed by a dot. Somebody asked on chat, why is all star cluster directed towards Sol? Because those are actual stars that's been observed, and because there was a limited in the precision of the stars, then you get those lines going orthogonal to a line towards it's I could dive into that later, maybe in another live stream, but I've looked into that before, and it's just an artifact of real world observations. Okay, so this is the format. This says the name, where it is, and ID of nearby systems within. So this is because in the original game you could only jump 7 light years. It could be an anagram. That's also an option, yeah. Okay, so how do we get these lists? Galaxy. Oh god, okay, here they are. Wait, so there's multiple lists? So this system here in Galaxy 2 is not in Galaxy 1. Is that what this is telling me? Yeah, okay. Okay, I guess let's make a list. Let's just make a raw script. Let's call this for OE, for original Elite. System raw. because this is going to be our raw, all the raw info we're going to have. So let's get that opened up, and let's close all of these. We don't need those anymore. Some scripts there. Okay, let's just, I'm going to put this over here on the other screen and just going to begin to populate this list. So we're basically going to need all of these, I guess. Like so. And then we're just going to go and take all of this data. Lovely, lovely data. Ah, I see. So they had, that's why they did multiple galaxies. You can see they could only have 256 planets because it's zero indexed. If we go up here, because it's zero indexed, so there's 256, which is limited to how much they could have in a single map. So that's probably why. And so I guess we're just gonna pick. I just need this window to be a little smaller. Hold on. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. So that was Galaxy 1. Let's go and do Galaxy 2. And like so. And I'm just going to put that in my list as well. And I'm going to take Galaxy 3. Yeah. Now, of course, there is a lot of data in this that we don't need. But we're going to filter all that out in a bit. For now, at least. There we go. We're just going to pick all the list of systems that we can. And then we're going to structure this in a little bit... right now it's just raw text. And we're going to try to structure this into some data structure that's going to be a little bit easier to work with. But for now, again, just... Yeah, it's not really that it's 8 separate galaxies, but you can look at it as 8 like map segments. Oh, how far did I get? I'm going to 8 now, or 7. Basically, because each map they would have a limit on the. Basically, they wouldn't use more than like from 0 to 100 and 256 in each map. So they had a limit on 256 systems per map. So what they did was they just split it up into 8 maps and then called it Galaxy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though it's essentially the same map, it's just like a grid. That's how I imagine it, at least. Because it would be too much for a computer back then, I assume, to load all the systems in at once, since this is already a lot of data. There we go. Of course, today this is nothing. This is like a tiny text file. Okay, so now we have, let's get rid of this. Now we have our lists of original systems, but you can see this is like all messed up. We have all the system names here, which is what we're interested in. And we have a lot of other information. So the first job, I think, will be to write a small script that will take this file. Your rabbit won't stop chewing on cords. Yeah, I know the feeling. No, we'll start by having to filter all this out. Luckily, this should be fairly straightforward if we just put this over here. And then we're just going to create a quick, let's call this Gen O Elite list dot ps1. Okay, and let's get this open here. So this is gonna be just a PowerShell script. I guess we're not gonna do anything fancy here. We're just gonna do this like very, very basic, because this is just gonna something we're gonna run once and then probably never run it again. So we're gonna keep this very, very simple. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We go get content. And we're gonna get content of a file called originally lead system raw text, and we're gonna call this this is, so I'm reviewing a keyboard at the moment, and the layout of the keys is slightly different than what I normally use, because I normally have a Danish layout, which is slightly different from this. In this case, it's a UK layout. So if I'm messing up some of my special characters, because they moved around on the keyboard compared to what I'm used to, making this a little bit more interesting than coding. But I guess this is a good test for a keyboard when but that's all gotta come later. Anyway, gonna call this for raw text. No, there's equal sign. Misspelled the file name. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. So that should give us the text, and then we just go for each. Where's pack? There we go. Dollar was there. Line in raw text. Come on, there we go. If line match, you don't like to use PowerShell. I don't. I've always been I mean, I always compile my script directly from command line. PowerShell doesn't really compile, but run things directly from command line. I never really liked those. Some cases, the Python one is pretty good, I think. I'm not, I don't know, the PowerShell one. I've always done stuff in either Notepad++ or Ultraedit or something like that. Or if I am so lucky that I can actually work on Linux, I would prefer Vim. So I'm a little old-fashioned when it comes to stuff like that. As long as I can get the decent syntax highlighting, then I'm pretty happy. Okay, so what are we going to match here? We're going to look for... we're just going to take out an example here of the lines that we're looking for. And put that there. Oh, it's already highlighting as a comment. Thank you. Always follow from Germany. Nope. They make Vim for Windows? Are you kidding me? Okay, I need to get that. Not now, but at some point. Okay, so we're basically looking for... We're gonna write ourselves a... where is hashtag? There, apparently. Oh, is it getting all confused because... Yeah, it is. So we probably need to escape that. Nope, still doesn't care. Okay. Maybe it's just the syntax highlighting getting confused because it's apparently not as well as I would have hoped. Okay, so we're gonna basically look for, let's do something else. Let's look for a digit, at least one digit. One or more digits, followed by a dot, followed by a space character. Then we're gonna start a group where we're gonna take words as many times as we can. Let's go plus, there must be at least one. And then we're gonna match a space character again. That should do it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with regular expressions, but basically what I'm doing here is \d means I'm looking for a number. Then I go plus, mean I want that number to appear one or more times. So that is looking for this number here, like 30. Then I say, then I want the character dot, which it is followed by. Then I want a space character. I would agree regex is completely impossible to read, but it is such a powerful tool for this. And once I got my space character, I'm starting a new group with these parentheses here, because now we're looking for what we're actually looking for. We're starting, and then we got like \w is word. That means it's any. It's actually a little overkill using word here because it's both. I think it's both like lowercase, uppercase letters. It is numbers and underscore. But again, there could be numbers. Oh, there could be spaces in the system name too, couldn't there? So I would actually have to go and say, okay, we have to then, there could be spaces in the system names, I guess. So here we would have to look for word, space, I believe digit is part of word, but we're going to put that in there. As many times as we can, and then we're going to look for a space and a starting bracket. That's going to ensure, because we have that space there, that space will not, I think this should work. Okay, Christopher, what we're doing is basically we're trying to cross-reference the systems in the old elite with the new elite. I'm not sure if we're going to find, probably not going to find Raxxla, but we're basically going to try to cross-reference systems that are in Elite Dangerous today with systems that were in the original elite. It's based on a theory from Drew Rager. He seems to think that there is that the original system must have something to do with where Raxxla is. So that's why I'm cross-referencing this list, because he mentioned in the recent live stream that he don't think anybody's ever done this. So I figured I would just make this list and then put it out there. And if anybody wants to use it, then go ahead. Okay, so now that we got our match, then PowerShell has such a nice feature where we can just go matches. So we say, okay, we want all the matches. We want the first match that we found. And what are we going to do with that? We gotta go, gotta pipe that to out file, I guess. Whoops. That should be like that. Out file, and then let's out file it to, what are we gonna call, what should we call this file? Let's call this, let's just call this for, OE system dot. Let's make it into a CSV format. And we're making sure we are going to append to that list. And we're just going to initialize the file up here then. And get system name, which we're going to out file to that, like so. So this is going to ensure, because we do not append here, this is going to overwrite the file, making sure it's empty when we start. Yes, out file append does automatically start a new line. I don't need new lines here. When I, it should do new lines. Otherwise, that's an easy thing to do, just to append a new line. This is probably not going to work, but let's figure out if it does. And we're going to a network location here, so let's just push D into that. Let's get PowerShell running here. Oh, and then let's run the get PowerShell PS1 file. And if I could spell PowerShell, then it would help a lot. Will you look at that? It's actually working. Done. That was quick. Will you look at that? Awesome. Yeah, exactly. 2048 systems. Sorry, yeah, 2048 systems. Remember, we have a header. Awesome source. I'm pretty sure that worked. Okay. That was easy. So now we have that system list. Now comes the much more interesting task of, of figuring out which of these systems are in the original lead. Which is, of course, a much more comprehensive list. And I can see two ways we can go about this. So what I'm thinking here is we can do two things. We can go and we can tap into the EDSM API, and we can do a web request for all of them. Basically just go and ask EDSM, does the system exist? And then try out and figure out if that's Yeah, exactly. As Makas is saying, I could just go and put that up against the EDSM list. Alternatively, what we could also do, which may be slightly faster, is because I believe that we close some of all this stuff. Exactly. It's a great minds think alike. What you could also do is an option. Is to go into EDDB, because they actually have a API too. It's basically built on the EDSM API, but what they do is actually quite nice. They have all populated systems. Ooh, they contain all populated systems, including factions information. Oh, okay. Here we go. So it contains all systems without fact. So here we have a CSV file with all known systems in Elite that is generated 12 hours ago. So basically what EDDB does is they generate these files and then just download that CSV file, like reference those against each other, and Bob's your uncle. That should be a lot faster, so we can cache the whole file locally, so we don't have to do a web request, because if we run this file, we would basically have to do like over 2,000 web requests, API requests, and there is a turnaround time, and it's gonna take some time. Oh, oops. Stop that. There we go. Yeah. I think that's gonna be faster to do it I have enough RAM to do this. If we just quickly run, I mean, there should, just gonna see how much, yeah, look at this. I'm just gonna check how much memory I'm currently using, because I'm not running any games, so I'm just using like 6 gigs, just over 6 gigs, so I still have plenty. I have 32 gigs in this machine, so we should easily be able to cache the 3 gigabyte file into memory, and do the same with this list. This list is like nothing, right? This is like 35 kilobytes. It's nothing. So we're just going to cache the two lists and then just reference it directly in memory. That's going to be a lot quicker than doing web requests. So I think I'm just going to quickly download that. I mean, it's only 3 gigs. How long can that take? So give that some time. Haven't heard that phrase in a very long time. What phrase is that? Bob's your uncle. Okay, let's get that thing. Okay, we're already up to half a gig, so that should be fairly quick. How is the network traffic, my network card actually managing this? Both I guess live streaming is up and download is down, so it shouldn't have too much of an effect. I don't know. Should we just quickly check? Network. Yeah, okay. it's definitely busy. Bob's your uncle, Fatty Rant. Okay, while that is downloading, we can begin to prepare the script that that does this. So this was... I'm gonna be very lazy today. Normally I would just like pack all of this neatly into one script, but today we're just gonna be lazy. And we're gonna go comp, original lead, and elite dangerous. .ps1. Okay, so let's get that script running. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have the original lead syslist, which is going to be get content. This keyboard. Get content, and the name of the file was like this. I'll pop that in there, and I'm just, because this could potentially take some time, so I'm just gonna give myself some helping text here, output text to the screen. Loading OE list, OE file, right host, right host, and go ... Loading, complete loading done. Loading done. Whee! Exclamation mark. And we're gonna be loading the elite dangerous file. Whoa. Elite dangerous file, and give that a little space there. And then we're gonna end up calling this edsystems.csv, which we're gonna rename the file. And whoops. And let's make sure to rename the list here so we don't overwrite it. There we go. Okay, so that should give us the two lists that we need. How are we doing on the download? We're at 2.5 gigs. We're almost done. Then I guess we're just gonna go and loop for each. Where did they put it? Again, sorry, new keyboard. They moved the keys around. For each system in... Oh, no. In the original system list dot... What did I call it? System name or something like that. System underscore name, I think. Yeah, system underscore name. So we're just gonna loop over that. And we'll have to look, I don't know what the structure of that system file is. Oh, but it's done. Hold on. Get download folder here. And then we're gonna move that over to the server. It's gonna take a while. Okay, good, done. Let's rename this to ed system CSV. Can we open this up without completely... File's too big for Notepad++. You cannot open the file. Wonderful. Does have like a top or something like that? Or do we have any kind of... You know what? I'm going to download this file too. This is the recently changed systems, and I expect that to have the same data structure. Yeah, it does. Good. So we can basically just use the data structure from here to figure out how the other file is, so we don't have to. We could go and like ask the command line to give us the top row and get this. But basically what we're looking for is just called name, right? So in this system, this file is just called name. So what we're gonna do is if name, okay, if the EM system, whoops, PowerShell has so many useful tools for stuff like this. It's amazing. If that contains system then we're gonna need a header for, we're gonna make a new file to store this in. We can basically steal that from over here, I guess. We're gonna do the exact same thing here. Just lazy do it again. And let's call this original elites in elite dangerous. Maybe that should be cap. Yeah, I could just like write a MySQL, get a MySQL database running, but I think it's just Notepad doesn't like loading this big file. I don't think PowerShell is gonna have an issue, but if it's gonna be an issue, we'll figure that out. We'll cross that bridge if we come to it. I'm basing this entire search, now I'm basing this off the fact that a rather interesting live stream from Drew Wager, one of the original writers for Elite, he was writing some of the novels for Elite, and he seems to believe that at least some information about Raxxla, or maybe the Raxxla itself, or maybe something about the Dark Wheel must be in some of the systems that was in the original game. I'm not sure if that's true, but he did mention that he's never seen anyone do this cross-reference, so that's why I decided just to get a quick live stream going and see if we can make this cross-reference. Okay, so we have the header in that file, basically like so, right? So what we're gonna do is what I just because it's a little bit prettier, I'm just gonna loop over it and then put dot system. I'm gonna loop over the object rather than the, yeah. So we're gonna loop over systems in the original, and we're gonna ask it if ed systems.name, name, if that contains that name. I'm just gonna help myself a little bit here. System n equals 1. And then we're gonna go write hosts, and we're gonna write the stop that. There we go. We're gonna write the system number followed by, I guess, the system name. I'm gonna put that into a string, and then we're gonna put into that first the system number followed by system.system name. There we go. There you go. So that's basically just gonna output that for us, so we can, as it's looping, we can kind of get a feeling for how far along we are. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm considering. is because this seems to have a lot of useful information. Security. Okay, hold on. Let's just see, because there could be a lot of useful information we could pull out right at the start and as we're doing this. So I just wanted to, there's some basic, some primary keys. Then we have the name of the system. We have the location of the system. We have the population, whether the system is populated. The government ID, the government type, allegiance ID, and the allegiance, probably the name of it. The security level and human readable. Primary economy ID, primary economy name. The power it belongs to, the power state. The power state ID. And see, this is the one I would be interested in, needs permit. Right? That information could be useful to us. Controlling minor faction ID, controlling minor faction name. Okay. This is all the information we have. And I think name and whether it is permit locked is interesting. But here's the problem, right? We're looping over this list and then we're doing a direct comparison. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do instead. We're gonna go ed system, because I don't want to do this lookup twice because it's going to be a big list to look through. So, okay, my problem was if I was looping doing this contains method here, when I was then done, then I would have to say, give me the line in this where the name matches this name. And that means we would have to do that lookup twice, and we don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the lookup once by saying that the Elite Dangerous system is equal to that, and then we're going to pipe it. This is why I love PowerShell. Where the name is equal to that name. So here we're doing basically doing the lookup. Oh, really hope I found what you're looking for, because I also want to know. I think everybody wants to know. But thanks a lot for the £5 donation. That's awesome. So by doing this lookup just once, we can now change this down here and basically say, I hope this works at least. If this system, so basically this should return null if the system doesn't exist, and then this if statement, if I go if this and this is null, that should then resolve to false. Whereas if it exists, then we're gonna go right host system found, boom, happy. And then we're going to write a small piece of text, and we're basically just gonna, so hold on, this file is gonna be system name and what was the other thing? System name and needs permit is the other name we're gonna need. So system name and needs permit. So we're gonna need 0, comma, and 1. Oops, that's a half. That doesn't work. And needs permit. That's gonna be. I need this from the ed system. We have the ed system row now. Oh, dot need system, and we also need ed system dot name, like so. Build that text string, and remember that. Come on, this keyboard. Outfile it to that CSV file there, and remember to append it. that should do it, right? Let's just run it over. Let's just like hand execute the code. So we're reading the original systems lists. We are reading the new system list. I expect this to take some time because we are just loading from an external server 3 gigs into memory. That's going to take some time. Then we're just adding a header to make sure we overwrite the file. Yeah, but I'm just going to put the information in there if there's any of the permit lock. Just would be interesting to see. And then for each system so we're looping over the original system lists, and for every system we're just going to write out a number, which I have forgot to increase. So at the end of this, for each statement, I am just going to go and there. I'll just go as a plus equals, I believe, plus equals 1. Which basically just appends 1 to itself. Yes, Mulan, that is exactly what I'm building this on. That Rhaegar mentioned in the stream that nobody's ever done this cross-reference between the system lists. That's why I decided to sit down and do it, because it shouldn't be that difficult. It just requires probably some computing power. Okay, so we're looping here and we're just getting that counter. Then we're writing the counter followed by the system name that we are currently checking. Then we're making this line is going to take time. This is going to be a time consumer. And if it finds the list, then it's going to go down here and say system found. I hope at least it will. It will write it out to the file. It will end that if statement. It will, oh, hold on. We should only, no, we should always, yes, we should always append 1. Good. Cass asked if I could upload the original file to Discord. Can you ping me real quick on Discord? Just send me a PM and I'll upload the file to you there. That's probably easier than just uploading it into some random folder or some random chat channel. So just send me a PM on Discord and I will just quickly drag the file over for you. But in the meantime, I guess it is time to watch this thing crash and burn, because my cast status would be, yeah, that's the ping. Good. Original system lists. There you go. Enjoy. So far I was pretty lucky with the previous one. The fact that it didn't crash, that it actually worked in the first go. So let's see if we are equally lucky this time. It's actually running. But is it working? So you can see we have loaded the original file and we are currently loading up the Elite Dangerous file. So we should see our memory begin to slowly increase. Yeah, I could see that. How my memory usage is slowly growing. That is the file being loaded right now into memory. Have you set your set execution policy? Yeah, I've done that globally beforehand, so I can execute files off my server without having to set the execution policy. So that is set globally. So no reason to do that first. And here's the thing that I of course forgot. This is the file is 3 gigabytes raw text, but when PowerShell is loading it in, it's structuring it into these PS objects, which takes a lot more memory. So that's why we are currently using, what are we up to, 5 gigs just for that one file? We should be close. Set goes, try to drag Windows arrives on D2.8 desktop. Realize it's D2.8 desktop. Doesn't work like that. That would be scary though. That internet user though, there you go, that's live streaming for you. It's all over the place. I know. It's still growing though, come on. We have like next to no disk, that makes sense. We're not really writing anything to disk as of yet. But this might also be, that is also, of course, also because I am transferring the file over from the server. So it's right now being moved from the server over my local network and loaded into memory. That's why the internet usage is also like all over the place. And that's why I'm receiving like a lot, because it's basically going and loading all that stuff into memory. We're actually gonna run out of memory pretty soon. If this thing is not loaded soon, we will have to find something else. So in case anyone was interested in all the system specs, like slightly old CPU, but currently overclocked to 4.3. I had it at 4.5 at some point. But it's actually running, I mean, it was nice when the rendering, but it was beginning to show some instabilities. So yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I don't want to mess around allocating too many resources to this, because I would be afraid that that the stream would go down. I mean, I am trying to stream at the same time, of course. I am getting a little worried in terms of our memory usage here. We're getting awfully close. Oh, it stopped at 28 gigs. Come on. If this doesn't work, we'll have to rewrite and go and do the web requests instead. Oh, 28.4. Why is this file being expanded? I knew that the data structure they used, PowerShell's data structure, took up a lot of memory, but I had no idea it was this bad. I mean, this is only what, 3.2 gigs? Only 3.2 gigs of text that it needs to restructure into some. Okay. Yeah, she just threw that into a database. Yeah, it would have been a lot easier to do just SQL requests off a MySQL database. Yeah, I don't. It seems like we will have to kill that process, because I don't think we could it's probably fun here to go and have a look. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, look at this. Here it is. That's the command process right now, right? 25 gigs. Oh god. Oh, it's still growing. Stop. Please stop. Okay, if I'm hitting 31, I'm gonna control C this, because I think if I'm beginning to swap to disk, then this is gonna go bad. So if this hits 31 gig, I'm gonna terminate the process here. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna kill this. Okay, it should be on its way down now. Yeah, there you go. Process is killed. Yeah, we're gonna kill it. No, we're getting too close to the problem. Is if that thing maxes out the memory, it will begin to swap memory to disk. And if you want to see a computer running like absolute dog shit, then you should see something that's swapping to disk. We were getting too close there. So luckily we do have a backup plan. Loading that into memory seems to have been a bad idea. And I don't want, problem is that could potentially have crashed the stream if that thing had reached max. I don't know how OBS would handle that, but I would expect it to be poorly. Okay, so plan B. We're gonna rewrite this. So let's go and have a look at the EDSM API. Get information about a system. Get information about systems. We just want for one system, right? We're gonna make a HTTP request for this. Do they have an example? Oh, hold on, I've done this before. Give me a second. I've done this before. Let me just quickly see, where did I put that? Yes, here we are. You recall a while back I did this multi-hop kind of thing. Like this multi-stop planning tool. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I did this a while back. There we go. That allowed you to basically like plan routes and stuff like that. It was a pretty neat little tool, I think. Okay, there's still some errors in it, apparently in this version that I have, but get coordinates would, I would guess, be a good script to look in. Yes. So here we go, right? System metadata, invoke web request. Oh. Get this full screen. We're just gonna steal this. Okay, so we still need this, and we still need, instead of going here, let's just, where did they put that? Comment that out. Okay, system metadata, invoke web requests, API. Okay, let's just let's do some testing here. Frank, thanks a lot for becoming a Patreon. That is absolutely awesome. I hope you're here in chat. But thanks a lot for joining, and thanks a lot for supporting the channel. Okay, so it can go show coords, and then we get the coordinates, but this is not what we're interested in today. We won't show permit. So if I instead in this URL change that to show permit equals 1. Perfect. That is exactly what I want. So we'll just update this web request. Boom, like so. And then we're gonna go system. What are we gonna put in here? I'm gonna put that in there. Well, these parentheses, this goes, so we take this and just put the system name in there. Okay, so now let's just run through this again. So we're looping over every system in the original lead. For each system, we make a web request toward EDSM using basic processing. Keep this nice and light. And then we're actually gonna steal some more from the old get coords code here. There's the more stuff we can salvage. Then we're gonna need oh yes, I'm gonna steal this, and I'm gonna show you my absolute favorite regular expression helping site, regex101.com. Love this place. We put in our regular expression. We put in our search string. Oh, not a search string, but the string that we have. Okay, so we're searching for name followed by double quotes, colon, double quotes. Everything that's not a double quote one or more times. Find a quote, find a comma, find a require permits, and that. And get rid of that. And then start a new group, find anything that is not a comma, and do that one or more times. So now we get Sol, the name, and we get true or false whether it is a permit lock system or not. So we're just gonna put that whole thing Oh yeah, hold on. I actually should probably expand it a little bit as I did before. So like search for curly brackets, search for double pling, like that. That's a lot better. Get quotes. So in here, did I close it again? I'm an idiot. Right, so we're gonna go if system metadata.content. So we're basically running a web request. We get a web request back. We are gonna run extract the content out of that web request, and if it matches the regular expression that we just created, like this one right here, then we're gonna do some things. We're gonna do stuff and things. We're gonna write all of that, get rid of that. So if we get anything that matches this, we're gonna go, but we also need to like pull out the matches. So we're gonna go and do what now? We're gonna go and do we have a system underscore name variable yet? We do. Where? No, we don't have it. Okay, so we're using it as a header, and we're using it as it's an extension on the system's current system. So we don't have this as a system variable yet, so that's okay. That would then be matches 1, I guess, because it's the first group. And matches 0 would be the full match, would be everything. Matches 1 is the first group. Matches 2 is gonna be require permit. And that's gonna be true or false. Then we're gonna say, we found a system, yippee-ki-yay, and then we're gonna write system name, whether it requires permit to a file, and we need to remember that we don't need this anymore now. That was crashing, or almost crashing us before. We're gonna 1+ our variable so we can see how far along we are, and that's just for good measures. Just for good measures. Get a resource monitor running here so we can see how much we are crashing. Oh, so already stop. We're already hitting an issue here. You can see we don't have a system name. You can see here, this is clearly not right. So why is that? Let's just do a quick test here. We're gonna put in a small like stop here so that we don't go past this point. And we can like go through the loops one at a time. And then I'm just gonna think I'm gonna ask it to just output systems and see what happens. Ah, I know what I done wrong. Ha ha. Oh, could we have done that? Because I read it as get content, and it's a CSV file. It should have been import CSV. Damn it. Maybe the other thing would have worked if I'd done that instead. Oh well. Let's kill that. Let's try this. Yes. I don't know why that was afterwards, but now it's working. That was the problem. So we can get rid of this code now. Look at that. System found, system found, system found. And this is actually fairly quick. And now we just lean back and wait. And is it actually creating a file? Yeah, original systems in Elite. And we can see this blue text flashing here. That's the web request. But because we're basically all we're getting in return is a small text string like that. And that is being downloaded like so quick. This is actually faster than I thought it would be. It would probably have been faster to do it if we did the import CSV rather than get content. And then imported the original list from that we had before. Now we just need a physical search for each matching system. Yeah, but this list is not that long. It seems to be a lot shorter than I thought. We are halfway there now. We only need to get to what, 2048 systems? Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. I don't know if anybody at EDSM is sitting and watching their API requests right now. They're all thinking, what the hell are people doing? Because I don't know how many requests they normally have, but I assume this would spike. We're going to look at the list in a bit. We're just going to wait for this to run. Have you found a new reason to play? Maybe. Let's see what comes out. We have to, of course, cross-reference to ensure that this is actually correct. Boom. And we're done. And that's a small list. None of them require permits. Oh, okay. There's a little mistake here. And I got a... but that's easy to solve. 35 systems. That's all. We have Lave, yes, and I would definitely expect that to be there. So what I want to do now is I just want to do like a test. So we have this system here. Actually, you know what? Let's quickly boot up Elite. Just gonna go over to this screen while we are loading up the game. Let's quickly boot up Elite. What I want to do now is I want to take some of the systems that the program claims does not exist and just take like random ones and then try to search for them in Elite and see if they actually exist in the game. And hopefully they don't. and then take some of them, those both take some of the positive, some of the negative, search them up in the game, and see if we can't get a a confirmation that this list is actually working as it should. Now, where did I leave last time? Clearly in my Jumbaconda. Problem is, am I still in the Pleiades sector? I was in the Pleiades sector yesterday, running around all day. Not sure if I actually flew back. We'll see. Gentlemen, start your scanners. I mean, we're down to 35 systems. That's not... Yeah. Oh yeah, now I know where I'm at. Anyone recognize this? Oh, I can't get far enough. But maybe if I can zoom in on the tower here, you can barely make out what it says there on the side. INRA. I'll start looking at the INRA bases. Isn't Polaris an original system and permit locked? That's a good point. But that's so. Let's have a look. Let's get to the main screen. According to this, Polaris did not exist in the original game. What about in the raw file? Nope. According to this, Polaris was not in the original file. At least not if the list that I have is correct. Maybe it's not. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take... These are all the systems that were there. And I'm just going to pick a random one, like this one. Then we're going to jump into the game. And we're going to do a search for it. Nothing comes up, as we hoped. Let's take a few more. Traveri. Traveri showed up. Is that on our list? It is. Ah, wonderful. I was just lucky and hit lucky or unlucky. I hit one of those that were actually on the list. Awesome. Let's find another one. Nope. Nothing. Ara seems to be here. Ah, no. Okay, found something else. Cool. So these are the systems that that could potentially have something in them. I don't know. I think I have to go and tweet Drew and see if he would be interested in the list. I'll upload this somewhere and then I'll post a link. I'll make sure to post the link directly for this file on Discord, and I'll also put it in the description once this video goes up as a video on demand later on. Try Raj, short one on your list. Okay. So there should be a system called Ra. There you go, Zachary Hudson. Right there. I'm actually surprised how short that list is. Could we expand the list with more information? What? Stop. Don't do that. What's the shortcut for replace? Why is it not Control R? Edit? What? Search, find, oh, here we go. Replace, it's H, okay. I want to find end curly bracket and I want to replace it with empty string. Boom, there we go. Yeah, Control H. I'm so used to running at work. I write everything in alt-threaded, and there it's Control R. And alt-threaded is called a paid software, so I don't want to buy it for home. So I just run Notepad++ instead. What now? Okay, let's just quickly see if we can enrich our data a little bit. So we can get coordinates for it. We can get primary star. Yeah, I know Visual Studio. I have it installed as well. Set, whoa. Include hidden. Set to 1 to get systems even if hidden in database. Hidden systems are generally typo errors. Remember system, rename systems in the game. Hold on a second. Let's just, for good measures here. Let's call this for... Let's call Buster back up. So we have that thing backed up. Yeah, exactly. Maybe include that. I agree. So if we just go in here, I should be able to go ampersand include hidden equals 1. Yeah. I think you're right. Let's just try just for good fun to... Because if the system was named something in the past that was in the original game, but then for some reason renamed later, that might be interesting. So just quickly... No, close that file. Done with that file. And here we're just gonna include... Oh, and the ampersand. Ampersand. There we go. Include hidden. And then we're just gonna run this again. And see if we come up with a new list. Or longer list. And if it does, I want to know which systems they are. It's finding a lot of stuff now. Look at that. Yeah, begin data enrichment phase. No, okay, what I was originally looking for here was if there would be any information here that could be useful to us. I was actually considering trying to get the coordinates as well, and then calculate the distance to Sol, because that might be interesting, if how far away from the bubble the system is. That's something we could definitely do. I mean, if there's a system, like one system that's like way out in the middle of nowhere, then maybe that's more interesting than it. But again, the list is so short, I mean, 35 systems, we can pretty much search that up manually in, I don't know, No time. Half an hour you would have like enriched that manually. Will we travel to the system this session? Maybe. Not all of them. I don't want to go and visit 35 systems today. And even if we went to this, problem is, if we go to the systems, you can pretty much go to all systems in the list, and I will promise you that none of them will have anything if you just like on first sight. This is something where you would really have to go and dig. I don't know what my search methodology would be. If you want to be thorough, then yeah, scan everything, map everything, like leave no stone unturned. Follow every single signature, try to see if any special signal sources pop up or point of interests, or it would take, I mean, even 35 systems, doing a full system scan, looking at everything in the system, that would take some time. Boom, done. Nah, okay. So, that's the new one. This is the backed up one. It's the same. Only that this, of course, we haven't replaced those. I didn't, for some reason, didn't fix that. I don't know why. But there's 200 others. What? 200? Are you kidding me? Yeah, okay. There are actually 200 people watching me write computer code. Wonderful. It's supposed to be a planet, I think, Raxxla. See, that's the next thing. We could focus on system that has... But the trick is, now that we have the system list... I think it was also mentioned that that it was only the Dark Wheel who were living in the system. We don't know if the Dark Wheel was living in the same system as Raxxla. They don't necessarily have to do that. But it is our best choice. I think what we're going to do, just quickly, is to... let me think. We're going to jump back into Elite to start with. And then I'm just going to run through the systems one at a time. Basically from the top. And then we should have system maps for all of them. That's a pretty boring system map. Lave is probably one of the more visited systems, so I guess... What do we have here? A permit locked planet Lave 2. Interesting. Lord Wolf says, in the novel, the Dark Wheel did not live where Raxxla was. Exactly, that would also be my expectations. And elite group of fighters killed any Dark Wheel that came to Raxxla. Yeah, exactly. I know that this is where you start in the first game. Just funny that you can't land on this planet. Okay, let's head back, see if we can find anything. It's all fairly small systems. I mean, there's not that many systems, but if we come across one that has a gas giant with 8 moons, well, it might as well go and have a look. Ooh, lots of gas giants here. None of them have 8 moons, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one actually has 8 moons. A, B. Yeah, but problem is that the 8th moon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it wouldn't be nested moons, I guess. But I'm just gonna put a star next to this one, because it technically has a gas giant with 8 moons. And again, I know that the Dark Wheel didn't live where Raxxla was, but we don't know either if Raxxla is in any of these systems. Most likely isn't. But it could just be fun to go and like just to try and narrow that down. I have no idea if, I mean, if there would be anything in these systems or what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets. Yeah, I would expect that some of you guys who played the original game, this would be a trip down memory lane. Oh yeah, this system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Damn it. Ra 13 has... I'm going to Ra now. Oh, I have no system data, but... Okay. So this one... Oh, Ra is getting 2 stars, if that is correct. No system data either. Okay, I'm not gonna run through the whole list now, but as I said, I will upload this list and I will then link it to over on Discord. So if you want access to the list right now, you can you can come over on Discord. There's a link below the stream, and I'll post it there in the Elite Dangerous Talk channel, and you can get the list from there. And I will also post this again, as I said, on a link underneath the underneath the video when this comes out as a video on demand. So people watching this in the future, you can just go down the description and you'll find the list there. But I think I'm going to call it here for today. I just pretty much just want to do this cross-reference. As I said, don't know if this could be used for anything. If anyone out there can use this list for anything useful, you are more than happy to take it, do with it what you want. And if you find anything, I would very much appreciate it if you came and gave me a little poke on the shoulder. Because again, I might dive into this a little bit more, but I have a sneaky suspicion that it's not going to be as easy as just cross-referencing 2 lists, then going to a short list of systems, then lo and behold, we found Raxxla in the middle of the bubble. It's probably not that easy. But anyway, I'm going to call it for today. Thanks for all you guys who joined in for this little bonus live stream here on a Sunday, right? And I hope you enjoyed it. I think at least it was pretty fun. And yeah, I think that's it. If you're over on Twitch, remember to click and follow the channel for more dangerous content. If you are over on YouTube, remember to subscribe. Also give the stream a like. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, which is going to be the next live stream, where I will continue to look at the shot cannons to get those unlocked and give those a test flight. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in space.